Well, I just come down here to, it's Sunday, and I got about another hour before the insurance adjuster gets here. And I'm taking the day off, sort of, mostly. I'm not really doing anything. I came down here to see if those mirror extenders uh, would, would work, and they won't. And here's what happens when you order stuff online. They're only $11, so it's not hardly worth sending them back. But my mirrors, they're supposed to thread in here, right? And they do thread in, but they stick out a good 1.25 inches and looks like hell. So I'll just deal with peeking around my own shoulders. Sometimes what I do is lean one way or the other to see around myself. And I just put a coat of wax on the fuel tank. And I have the foot pegs that go on the crash bars. And this seat, you know, my last Harley, that seat was the most uncomfortable seat I ever sat on. And I bought a very expensive seat with airbags in it. And it was much, much better. But this seat that comes with it, this is the most comfortable seat I've ever sat on. And I thought of something funny. And I just texted a friend of mine, Rob, just plain common sense. I told him that this seat is so comfortable that last night my butt woke me up and asked me if I'd come down here and sit on it for a little while. It is comfortable, and even my wife's seat is pretty comfortable. I don't know about long rides, but we are almost there. Tomorrow, I will have her bike together, and we will be ready to ride. And I pulled her breather off. I was really curious about the service, but wrote on the air filter. I pulled this off to see if it had a K&N aftermarket air filter, because it has the aftermarket pipes, and it does not. It has a regular air filter, and written on the air filter was the 1,000 mile service date. And this thing just now has 2,000 miles, so we're good for 3,000 miles. I pulled the dipstick, the oil looks great. I would imagine that it has a bit of moisture in it, but nothing that a few hundred miles of riding won't dissipate. Same with mine. I don't know when it was done, but I would imagine it had the 5,000 mile service done, because they appear to be well taken care of. So at 10,000 miles, this has 6 right now, I'll do the major, 3-hole oil change, transmission, primary, engine, and whatever else they do. What about neck bearings? Does this thing have, I don't imagine this has greasable neck bearings, right? Couldn't. I'll Google that. Okay, I'll let you know what the insurance got. Well, they're probably not going to tell me anything right away, because they don't want any shootings or fist fights. So they probably tell you, yeah, we'll get back to you. And then they send you this nice letter saying, due to the moon being in its 7th phase, we're not able to cover your damages. If it had been in the 6th phase or the 8th phase, you'd be all right. We'll see. Okay, I just thought I'd give you an update. The insurance adjuster came, and I was left with a distinct impression that he has absolutely no knowledge of, as a matter of fact, he said that. He doesn't know what my insurance covers. He works for 8 different insurance companies, and he travels all over the country. He has a camper. He arrived here towing a camper, and he was going from here to Texarkana and then down to Houston. So this guy has no vested interest in making a bigger claim, or perhaps making light of your claim so you have, less of a claim. Hold on, I gotta plug my phone back in, and I'm losing my juice. And he doesn't know what they cover or don't cover. And all he does is take measurements of the carports, lots of pictures. He didn't even know if they covered anything under them, and to be honest, I don't know either. So he told me, here's what they will do. He said, you have a deductible. Whatever they decide these carports, value to be, they will take that deductible out, and then they will depreciate them. He said, do you know how old they are? And I do, but I said, no, they were here when I got here 2 years ago. So technically there was no lying. I didn't say, yeah, they're only 2 or 3 years old. I think they're as old as 1983. So if they depreciated them to 1983, yeah, no, I'm gonna get a couple of $100. Who knows? If I got 700 or 800 bucks, I would be very surprised, and that would give me just enough to build a small carport for my pickup truck. And over time, I'll then, a piece of wood at a time, start rebuilding my carports back. But I just thought I'd give you an update. That was my day for Sunday. I did nothing. My hip is a little bit better. Tomorrow I got to get my wife's tire back on her bike. And the bikes are done. Little tweaking odds and ends here. Dog check. 1 dog. 2 dogs. 3 dogs. Have a good Monday, y'all.